Hello there, people.
Jaina versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
You asked for it.
What I'm playing here is a mage deck full of secrets and spells, but with very few creatures. This is why I'm leaving the Ethereal Arcanist in. It's something to put on the board. What I get back are fairly cheap spells. This pleases me. I skip the first turn as there's not much for me to do. My opponent takes the cautious route and immediately uses his hero power to summon a recruit. I deal with this by instantly pinging him down. I don't want any surprises, no early buffs, not even a single point of damage needlessly hitting my pretty face. Oh, but he does not relent! Yet another recruit enters the field. This one shall be more resilient than the other. No matter. A water elemental should solve this problem rather gracefully. A secret has been cast. A flurry of possible scenarios rushes through my mind, creating a collage of son of a bitch. I could have taken that shield down. He banked this entire play on me not doing so. Clever little bastard. I got fooled. I underestimated him. Don't worry, I have things under my control. A single fireball will take care of this insolent elf, and the recruit...
Get down!
At least I have exposed his secret. I'm still fine.
Thank you.
For the crusade!
He summons a Scarlet Crusader. You know, I still have a very special spot in my heart for this brave girl. She was the first golden card I have ever gotten in this game. I used to put her in every deck just to hear her sweet voice as she entered the field. It's a good card as well, not necessarily against a mage, but it is a good card overall. Back to the game at hand, I of course would love to solve this with an arcane explosion, but I don't have one available to me quite yet. Also I've noticed Deathwing sitting quietly in my hand, giving me options. My water elemental is doomed, but I will receive whichever creature he next drops on the table. He summons a Loot Holder. Hardly worth the card I've spent getting him. Unsurprisingly, he drops a more powerful minion next. He saw right through me. Alright, I need to assess the situation carefully so as not to make silly mistakes. I'm considering using a polymorph, but I'm still weighing my options. It's a very valuable card that I might need in the future, but on the other hand, not using it now would force me to completely surrender board control or to blow a few precious frost bolts. I wanted to maintain card advantage, so I didn't attack the Loot Holder. That's one more point of damage to the face, so it may seem like a strange choice to make. I know I could have used a single Frostbolt, followed up by a hit from the Loot Holder to finish off the Yeti, and the Fire Blast to kill some other creature. Such things are very clear in hindsight. And as I'm reviewing the footage, I often cringe at my previous decisions, but I both learn by doing so, and provide people on the internet with an ephemeral sense of superiority. The board is a dangerous place, and I need to deal with all the threats. I start out with arcane missiles, hoping to at least break the divine shield. I succeed. A single frostbolt will severely weaken the Drake. A fire blast will kill it. Now I don't need to worry about it being buffed or providing the spell damage buff any longer. The situation is now somewhat under control, but it's not time to breathe a sigh of relief just yet. Exactly. The true silver champion upsets me greatly. Fortunately, he uses one attack with it just to pummel my face some more. There are many things I could do. I could, for instance, rely on Vaporize to kill the Argent Protector while killing the Loot Holder with my Fire Blast. I don't want to do that because I need Medecicris to impart my Arcanist later on. Summoning minions would just be offering them on a silver platter. Especially the Alchemist would be a bad idea. I'm left with disabling the Protector. I could freeze him to get him off my mind. That's just a temporary solution though. I have Deathwing to wipe the board should anything scary happen, but I don't want to lose all the cards I've gathered so far. I could kill the guy with a Frostbolt, Arcane Explosion and a Fire Blast, but I'd rather deal the area of effect damage next turn since it might soften up some more minions. Furthermore, if I don't use Arcane Explosion just yet, the loot holder, if frozen by the Nova, will end up being completely useless. I've got decent card advantage over my opponent and I should be able to keep it this way. Then again, I don't want to waste the Nova on just 2 targets, one of which should be frozen anyway. I also don't like him having that sword to use. I will bait him to attack my Elemental
Runs out on me.
and both deal damage and disable the Protector for next turn. See, that's what card advantage gives you. Choices. Now it's up to him. What will he do? Avenging Wrath, that was unexpected. Wait, 8 plus 2 plus 4, that's 14! That could have killed me. Arguably, I've ended up with the best scenario possible. Both me and my Water Elemental are still alive. Hell, he just used up that Divine Shield just to get rid of the guy. He has just wasted his weapon to attack me and is left with no cards in his hand. Sure, I am left with 6 points of life and nothing on the board, but that's about to change. Let me just make sure my calculations are correct. Yes, 2 plus 3 plus 4 is indeed 9. I have exactly as much as I need. I can wipe the board, summon the Alchemist, and both help her and secure myself by casting Vaporize to close things off. The tables have turned. See, paladins are notoriously poor at dealing with such threats. You know what? Never mind. Sylvanas Windrunner. One of those cards. See, I've had Deathwing as a brilliant solution to most problems. If I toss Deathwing now, he will kill everyone and get taken over by Sylvanas, giving him to my enemy. Since I need to deal with Sylvanas at some point, I might as well get it over with right now. I don't want this guy to get anything, especially my Alchemist, so I'll go for this horrible trade. This changed the course of the entire game. It completely derailed any plans I have had earlier on. My Alchemist will grow, I can no longer trade with Sylvanas, I cannot summon Deathwing, the only thing I can do is try and buy time. 2 Frost Novas should help with that wonderfully. Wait, I can trade next turn. My Alchemist will be at 7-5, still perfectly working in this scenario. Alright, let's see how this story develops. I light up the fire just to be more cozy. Ah, the Yeti. Such a simple yet amazingly useful card.
Reporting for duty.
Ooh, Ice Block. I could conceivably trade away the Alchemist now, kill the Recruit with a Fire Blast and wait for the Yeti to dive head first into Vaporize, but I've got a better, more exciting idea. Check this out. I freeze the board first to prevent all damage, I throw a Fireball at his face, fry him some more with my Fire Blast, and of course deal the 7 points of damage my Alchemist has to offer. He's suddenly at 16 points of health. Wow, he repaid me in kind by bringing me down to a single hit point. Had he gotten another hammer or a consecration, I would have been dead now. Equality doesn't seem like the most brilliant of things to cast, but it makes little difference at this point. Of course, this leaves him with no cards in hand. The real question here is, do I draw more cards? Deathwing destroys my hand, so that could be considered a waste. But I do want to cast things before I resort to summoning him. Another Arcanist! That makes things interesting. I'll throw her in alongside Ice Block. Let's see how things pan out.
I hope you like my invention.
The Novice Engineer gives him another card. Vaporize is wasted, but that's perfectly fine at this point. Ice Block gets triggered, taking the focus off me and putting my minions in danger. He needs to take care of both of them to survive, and does so in the most intelligent way possible.
Reporting for duty.
I could freeze the Arcanist, kill the Yeti off with a Fire Blast and cast Ice Barrier to protect me for another turn, but that would hinder me more than help me. Deathwing time. He could summon something with Taunt, which would slow me down. He could also draw into direct damage, which would kill me. The Guardian of Kings restores 6 health, leaving him with 13 points. That's exactly as many as I can take away with Deathwing and the Fire Blast. With Polymorph I could kill his minions, but I'm not insane. Time to finish this.
Well played.
Deathwing might be so unreliable, so risky, so dangerous, but that's all part of the charm. Bye guys.